So, welcome everyone. This class is a class that was made upon request by Lisa, who was like, "Hey," and it's not that I don't ever want to teach this. It's just that it's such a Earth Angels is such a blended teaching, and it is such an amazing teaching, but it's a blended teaching. And I do need a pillow. I feel like I'm too short on my little stool. As you all know, this is not my office. This is my, I don't really have one still. And so because it's blended, what it blends with is it blends with empath and earth angels and angels, angelic realm. But the one thing you're going to discover about an earth angel is that earth angels there was no angel that came down and bred with your mothers to make you. You didn't get created into some celestial being to become earth angels. There is a selective and number of people in the world, and it's a large number. It's not a small number. It's not special. It's a very selective number that were evolved, ascended beings, souls that were chosen to come to earth with a special calling. And so to be called upon is to be called upon in the way of the ascendant, and the earth angel really truly leaves you coming to earth as a like an enlightened being, but struggling. So there is this sense of the human essence. So the best way that I can put a earth angel to start with is, you remember the special person who would come to either schools or church or wherever, organizations, places you may have been involved in, that volunteered and was always there, but expected nothing, and never ever laid blame, like a shame game, on anyone else for not being there. They were just there. And when I think back through my life, I remember having a teacher who was like that. And he literally came all the way to Alberta, came all the way to Slave Lake to make sure I had a 25th anniversary yearbook. He never forgot me. He was special to us in school. He treated us all like we mattered. And he volunteered and did a lot of special things, and never did it for validation, never did it because he needed anything. He did it just because he just did. That's an earth angel. That's the ultimate level of an earth angel. And I think back to like my grandparents, my grandmother being a special kind of human, or my grandfather. But I don't know if I would call them earth angels. Because ultimately, there was a lot of things that you still don't do because you just don't want to step into the world, or you don't feel you should. And so they're defining earth angels, and I hold back, and I find it very it's a very humbling one for me to teach the earth angels. There's a blend within us, and to be called an earth angel myself was something that I never could accept. Still don't. Still a difficult one, because it just is for me. And what it really means to me is it's an energy. It's a force. So I want to start with something that really gives you something to look at in a beautiful, deeper way. Have you ever walked down the street and seen the homeless person who was standing there, who asked you for that money in the freezing cold? And you say you don't have anything, and you go to walk past him, and he just says, or she, whatever, it just says, "Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time." And didn't say anything else bad, just gave you a smile and said thank you, like with gratitude. Thank you for even acknowledging that I was on the road, that I was right there. chances are that's an earth angel. Those who come here with an unknowing but knowing sense that they came as light beings who shine a little bit brighter. So even in their worst times, they still shine a little bit brighter. They still make you stop and think. So when you walk past that person and you couldn't give or you didn't give, what traveled through your mind? After you left, did you just forget that person? Chances are no. No, I met one downtown Edmonton who I'll never forget. Never forget. He had snotty, runny nose. He was filthy, dirty. He had no teeth. And he asked everyone who walked past for money. And everyone just walked, some just discounted him as if it didn't matter. Others stopped and looked at him and said, I'm sorry, I really would love to, but I don't have anything to give to you. And he would say, that's okay, bless you. Thank you anyway. Like, thank you for noticing me. Thank you for noticing me. So he gets to Maggie, and Maggie says to him, I don't have a dime, but I can guarantee you my mother's come behind, and I can guarantee she's stopping, and she got a dime. She might be all she got, but she got a dime in her purse. And she says, I have a debit card. That's it. And she says, and she looked back at me and she knew I was coming. And when I stopped, I opened up my wallet and I said, I don't know what I have. And I am very apologetic that I'm giving you pennies, because it's not, I wouldn't give you pennies. I'm not giving you pennies because I'm cleaning out my purse to just give you pennies. I have this change. Tears came in his eyes. Now, was I the earth angel, or was he the earth angel? He was the earth angel. He was the earth angel. And he could see something inside of me with his smile. And he changed something inside of me that day. He changed my life in a lot of ways. No matter how bad that day is, I'm still here. Chances are he's still out there. And he wasn't someone who was out there making money, living off the street. You know how people make the money, go out and make money, pretend there's something. He wasn't pretending. He was real. But he still had something that most of us don't have: joy. He still had a joy in his heart. He still had a gratitude in his heart, because when he looked at me, there was a sparkle in his eyes, and his eyes lit up. Earth angels have a sparkle in their eyes. And even on their worst days, their saddest days, their most struggling days, there's something inside. And we couldn't have planned this day any better. As Lisa said, the 6th would be a new moon. And it is, and I didn't realize until this morning, it's a 6-6, which is a day of hope. Because it doesn't have the third 6. It has 2 6s. So the third 6, if you read my blog, talks about third 6 is like, oh shit, now you got it done. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to let shit end now? Or are you going to make a change now? 2 6s is hope, optimistic. There's still an opportunity. Earth angels know deep down in their conscious, in the soul of them, not their human, in the soul of them, to never lose one thing: hope. Earth angels know to never lose hope. And they will walk through every flame, every fire. This is not what I had in my notes, by the way, because I've written all kinds of notes today about what I should say about an earth angel. An empath, most likely, often will not walk through that flame. They will back away because they don't know whether it's theirs or whether they should or whether not. An earth angel is fucking going anyway. Okay, I got to go through it. I might as well do her well. I have to keep walking through. Because the flames usually will mean there's something on the other side. And so most who's been an earth angel have often come from a place of struggle. So when you look at yourself and you think, oh, I could never be somebody, I've done this in my past, or I've been this in my past. Earth angels have often been the ones who have struggled the most.